I don't like it when people come into my town without paying their respect.
Yo, man, hold it right there. What you doing on our turf, punk?
Some will believe him, some will not. Some will change their beliefs. But most important, he again believes in himself. He again has the will to run. And for a fugitive, this instinct is survival.
Yeah, it's a drag now. I mean, you know, it's gone. So while we were sitting around thinking, you know, there was a truth movement. First of all, greetings in the name of the Most High.
Perfect way to start out a live stream, not knowing you're live yet.
And I saw Aaron Cox.
Oh, hello, you little American. I am Master Tan. I want to tell you, you Americans are in very big trouble. Why you elect President Trump, hey? Why you think you can get away with freedom and liberty? Supporting the underground Chinese Christian church movement, hey? Master Tang is going to teach you a lesson. You know, ever since I become communist China, I think so Americans don't understand. Too much freedom, not a good thing. Why you teach Taiwan to have democracy, eh? You should not have done this deal. You should not have done this deal. Master Tang is not happy. And Master Tang's Master Lucifer not happy too. Chinese government system, communist system is what you really like. You want Bernie Sanders. You don't want liberty anymore. Master Tang have a very good plan. All Americans do not know Master Tang's good plan. Master Tang will make sure all Americans only support communist China. Don't pray for China. You pray for Americans become like communist China. You can be just like us. Just vote for Bernie Sanders. In the China, in all the world, there has never been a more happy place where people can unite together. They can all come together and become people's Soviet-style tender. Yeah. Why you think Hong Kong people not like communist China? This is a lie. Communist China love Hong Kong, love everybody. So never listen to Michael Basham or InfoWars or Spirit Force. Never do that. Never go to Fringe Radio Network. You should be very afraid. Coronavirus. Be afraid. Listen to CNN and mainstream media. Yeah. 你不可以听我的朋友，不喜欢共产党的人，不是你的朋友。你可以相信 Master Tang. Hong Kong people only riot because America teach them too much freedom. Master Tang will teach you and teach Hong Kong people no more freedom. You should be like Master Tang. Master Tang have good plan. This is his very special message. Next time I see you vote for President Trump, you will be in big trouble.
Hear ye, hear ye. Thou hast been found guilty of going to the beach whilst the plague of sniffles ravages the land. Thou wilt be hung and thy body put on display as a warning to anyone who might consider exercising their constitutional freedoms. My goodness, what a bunch of cowards we have turned into. Absolutely the most unbelievable, shameful display of cowardice I have seen in my lifetime, bar none. The tyrant DeSantis in Florida has now decided, in his infinite power and infinite wisdom, to illegally and unconstitutionally order the closing of businesses based on nothing. There are so many more things out there that kill people in far greater numbers than this ever has. And that's provable. More people committed suicide yesterday than died of coronavirus. More people died of heart disease. Oh, I forgot. They're bribing you with the promise of $1,000 to give up your constitutional rights and your freedoms. It is the most amazing thing to me that the bravest people on the planet right now are a bunch of high school and college girls and guys. They are flipping the bird to the government and saying, you know what? We're only young once. We have an opportunity, while the weather is beautiful, to go enjoy our lives. And if the risk is we get sniffles, then so be it. We don't have any plans to go hang out at the local nursing home afterward. So we're gonna go. And we're gonna go whether you like it or not. They're whining and complaining and bitching and moaning about people at the beach when it's a mere 155 out of, 30 million people in Florida? 30 million people. The numbers are infinitesimally small. And no, they're not going to just explode geometrically, and it's just ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous and shameful. In fact, yesterday alone, I wish I would have brought up the video. I will find the link to it. Actually, 2 days ago, pardon me. Governor Cuomo lifted all of the fees to state parks, local parks, and national parks in New York. Why? He wanted to encourage people to go outside to the park because he said, I realize I haven't had young kids in a long time, but I remember what that was like when you were cooped up. We want to encourage people to go out to the parks. Why? Because that's not an enclosed area. Neither is this beach, regardless of how crowded it looks. These are the heroes, future heroes of America. This is the brave tip of the spear right here. Clearwater Beach is now the home of the Patriot movement. De facto in this country. What a bunch of spineless cowards we have all become when it takes teenagers just wanting to get a buzz, grab some sunshine, go for a swim. Fearless of both the coronavirus and the tyrants in Tallahassee or DC, however you want to look at it. What a bunch of nonsense. Absolutely. And yeah, I'm going to put up pictures of pretty girls. Absolutely. Because to my mind, as I've seen life progress over the last, 30, 40 years, that's starting to be a crime. It really is. Honest to God, a guy looking at a pretty girl in a bikini is now seen as aberrant. But we can put Mayor Sodomite from South Bend up, and he's perfectly fine. He can talk about whatever the hell he wants to. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. People wake up and see what they're doing. This isn't some... You see, this is what drives me nuts about this story. Okay, McKee, we believe that this really isn't a play, but what are they really doing behind the background? This really means... It doesn't really mean anything other than it's a grab for tyrannical power. It's not some hidden 5G agenda. This isn't a warm-up for the real plague that's coming. What they're really doing here is this. They found an opportunity, and they are capitalizing on it. There was a minor outbreak of coronavirus in China last part of last year. And yes, I'm sorry, 80,000 people out of 2 billion is a minor outbreak. 80,000, do the math. Or if you don't know how to do math, find somebody who knows how to do math and have them show you what giant small number in scientific notation that is. 80,000 over 2 billion. What is it now in Italy? Like 3,000 or something like that? Over 60 million? And they said, hey, look, I bet if we can scare people with this, it's an election year, because we have to get this out in the headlines because it could hurt the economy. And that's the only thing that Trump has in his column for good. I mean, and it would have taken him to 4 more years. We can take that away from him. Oh, but look what else it gives us the opportunity to do. We don't even have to announce that we've suspended the Constitution. We're just going to do it. In the name of protecting everyone from themselves. It doesn't matter what the actual numbers are. They don't know how to do math. We introduced Common Core. They don't know how to figure out what exponential really means. It's exponentially small. You take all of the cases, 200,000, what is it now? 200,000 on a planet of 8 billion. $80,000 over 2 billion. Guys, it's just... But what are they doing? You may not open your restaurant. You may not go to the beach. You may not do... Really? And look what they're doing, man. I tell you what, Jimmy Dore, I'm kind of 50-50 on. But he showed something today that was just insane. They already had the graphics set up for Biden beating Bernie. In Illinois, I think it was. They already had the graphics, a specific number. They didn't just have 100 and 0 or a bunch of zeros. They had a plausible, what looked like a plausible number for the turnout, showing Biden beating Bernie Sanders. Today, even though the voting hadn't taken place yet. That could be part of it. This is something where they said the sickness is going to cause this hiccup in the economy. The sickness didn't do it. The government's actions did. The government's orders, the government's actions, the government's decrees, illegal decrees caused this. Their ability to use the media to manipulate fear into the people caused this, not the coronavirus. I'll say it again, we're a planet of 8 billion people. You could at any point in time decide to remove 200,000 people from our population. Let's assume every single case died. And it's not a rounding error. And I'll do some basic math for you. If we have a planet of 8 billion people, 800 million is 10%. 80 million is 1%. 8 million is 0.1%. 800,000? 0.01%. 80,000. 0.001%. A fourth of that. 0.00025. That's all cases everywhere the last 5 months. That 93% of which have recovered from. Unbelievable to me. Absolutely unbelievable to me that the governor, the tyrant DeSantis, has decided that he has the authority to do what he's doing. I don't remember giving him that kind of authority. There's nothing going. It's just insane. People believe that goes to the power of the media, the power of the internet. See, you know what the biggest blessing would be right now? The biggest blessing in the world right now would be an EMP. You know why? Because that would shut off the internet. They wouldn't be able to scare you anymore. You'd actually be able to have to go out and socialize and deal with your friends, deal with your group, your church group, whoever, and then you would realize, hey, nobody's sick. Oh, you'll hear a story of, oh yeah, this girl, she works over here in this one hospital, and this one person did come in, and yeah, they were feeling kind of bad. But there aren't people lining up at hospitals. They're not overrunning ERs. They're not completely overwhelming the urgent cares. It's the fear of that. Oh, the big fear of the hump. Talk about the fear of the hump. That's kind of funny. I didn't even think about saying that, but that must be what the deal is with why they're trying to close Clearwater. Hear ye, hear ye. King George is probably rolling over in his grave now, saying, they thought I was bad? And they thought I was bad. All I wanted was my taxes. All I wanted was the taxes that they had agreed to pay when they went over there. I was the one providing the security. I was the one providing the ships. I was the one providing all this kind of stuff. And all I asked is that of that giant brand new free world where they had nothing but trees to chop down and rivers full of fish and all sorts of free farmland to send me taxes. But I was the tyrant. Look how far they've come in 300 years. Teenagers are now the new patriots. Unbelievable. Like, share, subscribe.
but I want to make it clear to you, whether or not I'm the nominee, I promise you, I'm going to work like the devil to make sure a Democrat's elected president of the United States.
Oh, this is too good to be true again. Yeah. Wishful magical thinking.
Let me tell all of you, I wrote back is stalking OJ. Well, OJ truly is the Italian stallion. Any of you ever see him? I have. Oh, hell yeah. OJ, we got a little problem. I got your dogs. I got your dogs, baby. If I get a knock on your door, I'm gonna have my Cool Ranch Doritos, the bottled Jack. And you better invite me in. You think I'm lying? I don't bluff, baby. Nope.
You see, what's funny is OJM probably thinks Tamara's cute because when Tamara used her sister's teeth in a video, yeah, that probably OJM was like, oh my gosh, she is cute. She's hot. She's hot.
Yeah, I got OJ's dogs. Hell yeah. Anyway, Brokeback is stalking. So I'm gonna tell you what happened. Brokeback is bisexual. What happened when he had a falling out with his ex-boyfriend? His ex-boyfriend contacted one of the videos and was sent a sex video of them having, getting it on in your hot tub.
See, I haven't had an ex-boyfriend. I don't like men. I've told him many times, hashtag motorboating, hashtag exit only. But yet they were contacted by one of my ex-boyfriends named, I can't even remember the name. Yeah, there was a certain person that they'd caught. It was a scam, right? I think it was probably J-Man or somebody trying to contact him, saying that they were the hurt ex-boyfriend, right? And they buy this stuff, so they just eat it right up. Yeah, I haven't had an ex-boyfriend. Still have a current girlfriend for a long time. I was even married once. And actually, I think my ex-wife might have liked women more than men. And I think that's why it didn't work out. But hey, each to their own. I gave her everything she wanted, and it still wasn't good enough. What does that tell you? Yeah.
Decided not to make it public, but only shared it with the chosen few. Yours truly here was one of the chosen few. And we decided not to make this video public because we are proud supporters of the LGBTQ community.
Okay, so there's no such thing as any hot tub footage of me with a rubber ducky and anyone else in the hot tub. Never have, never has, never will be. Because even if it did happen, that's my business and not yours. So, anyway.
So we decided to sit on this Facebook Live.
Right. And try to use it for blackmail like you are now. Isn't this fun? I can't wait for this to come out in federal.
Here he is making all these smack videos and stalking. Man, if we were to put this up, it would be some funny shit. And there was a rubber ducky in the background in the tub while this dude was getting plugged in gas.
God.
And this dude got a nice body on him too. Oh yeah, I seen it. Oh yeah, man, he was totally fun. It is fun.
See? Ooh, they're gonna make a good couple. OJM believes everything on the internet. Tamara Wolf is hot. Oh my gosh, and she can talk trash. I think she'd make a great sidekick in my dump truck.
Anyway, I just wanted to give all you gossip. You know, spill some tea, bitches. And,
Yeah. Guess what, tomorrow? We're gonna keep on documenting. Everybody have a good night and day. Peace out.
Hey guys, we got another FOIA request that came back. Got some video this time. We're getting shown here why OJM is driving dump truck. Let's just put it that way.
F68, Seago, you the man. Hey, butthead. Huh? You the man. Me the man. On one. Ready? 390. 390. Let's go.
Dang it, yeah. Yeah, you know, I can see how they could drive one to, you know, start driving dump truck, you know, get his ego back. I think I'll go quad now. Dang your cocks.
This lady's freaking story changes. Like, this is like the fourth time, right? And she's sitting down with the clairvoyants that she's paid a lot of money for, that are clairvoyants for the FBI, and they can remote view ya. And this is how you make an actual victim into a perpetrator. Cover your own ass. You use clairvoyance. Uh-huh. She's so full of shit. Okay, yeah. Right. Oh, okay. All right. Uh-huh. And they got chocolates. Right. I thought I heard they were on the scent. And they were gonna get everybody. This is too much, you guys. I can't hang with this. I can't go anywhere. She was gonna leave. I would have lost the bet.
You see her video? I didn't watch. I'm not watching. Suck it.
Right. She's not watching a second of it. We'll listen to her go off about it here in a minute.
Double homicides, and you dared me to take a challenge. You have no case against me or anyone on this platform.
Right.
When you accuse me of committing these double murders with Agent 19 and his comrade. And yes,
I think she's talking about Monograph, but I don't know if anybody really accused Monograph and Agent 19 of anything. I think this is just one big elaborate circular story. It kind of reminds me of a Failure Man circular, and the victimhood of OJM, right?
a comrade. Since I come from a military family, even raised by a military man. And my husband is a United States Marine combat veteran.
Okay, so I want to get this straight real quick, because just because you have family that were witches and in the Marines and veterans, and it doesn't mean that you've been trained. See, you need to become trained yourself. And then it pushes you through, okay? We're gonna keep going.
And you referred to me as a terrorist when I have a video of my cousin who was in combat serving in Afghanistan while my brother was laying in his casket. And there was a United States flag flyover for my brother. You evil bitch! And you're the terrorist! A domestic terrorist with evidence. Even one of your gang members is a convicted domestic terrorist.
I wonder who that is.
Which is why you and your entire criminal gang are under federal investigation.
Perfect.
You don't like me talking about your little boyfriend, do you? Since you tried to gaslight the FBI and had your gang members help with this. To have me, Agent 19, and his comrade wrongfully placed under federal investigation. So who's obstructing justice? I found more Barry's victims. Yes, you reached out to me. But
wait a minute. I didn't think this guy was a victim. Right there. You mean this guy's a victim? You mean that guy right there is a victim? Okay. Okay.
deleted our comments.
Oh, and you
Since
deleted
there
the
was a
comment.
investigation. And listen, Einstein, you have the wrong docs. And you doxed this woman with malicious intent. So go.
I've heard about this wrong doxing before with, I think, another Lori. This is getting interesting. Interesting.
I want to go to the FBI and the police.
Hold on, we're gonna go back.
Dox. And you doxed this woman with malicious intent. So go on and go to the FBI and the police. Make yourself more obvious. Remember, you're easy to believe while you're in a narcissistic rage. You had me gang stalked on a daily basis by up to 12 of your domestic terrorist gang members on a daily basis around.
You see, what's funny about all this is really gang stalking happens on the ground. See, stalking through the internet, there's a difference between gang stalking and harassment through the internet and refuting and rebuttaling. Let's keep going.
O'clock for 8 solid months. And you did a live stream accusing me of being part of a death cult with David Fettuccine. You sick, evil, psychotic freak. And then you're using the
David Fettuccine.
others to do smear videos of me. While you sit back and eat your mouth.
Actually, I've only talked to Lori a couple times, and tomorrow, I've been watching you for a while because we knew we were going to get to this point, right? I knew you were going to get to this point, and Lori didn't have to ask me to do anything. I already knew that you were going to get to this point, and all the rats were going to be pushed into the same corner with you and your victim. You and your victim, this guy.
You want to blame us for the murders, but you mean I can't when I have circumstantial evidence when you have nothing? Nothing. Calm yourself, lunatic, and accept the fact that your victims are fighting back.
I just don't see how these guys could be victims when, I mean, I didn't hear anything or see anything of Lori accusing these people of being the ones that could have murdered her in-laws. This is really interesting because I think Lori's just been trying to recoup and trying to work with the FBI on trying to catch active criminals, you know, active murderers. You know, I just don't think Tamara would have been able to have anything to do with murders because she's too busy making videos, right? She keeps on saying she's going to leave the internet, and for a while, and all of a sudden, right, she's making more videos and more videos and more videos, and I just don't think she leaves her house and her blue light special there.
And how dare you accuse me of these murders when I didn't even know who you were at the time the murders were committed, and I have the evidence. You were trying everything in your power to have me locked up, Agent 19 and many others, and it's not working. Can't you see this? Because the law enforcement officers can. You don't want me telling David's family what you're doing, and that's really what this is about, isn't it? Burn in hell, bitch! Because that's exactly
I thought she had a blessing of prayer of protection from the witches that were that were making her calm in the last video. She was very calm. Right. We're gonna analyze the triggered level on this one and figure out where to take it. All right, everybody, have a good day. We just had to document this. Thank you.
Well, this is what we've been waiting for a long time. The rats to gather in the same little sewer pond. After a storm, get all washed in there together. And them rats is Eric Spitfire. Oh boy, he's getting some new recruits coming his way. Boy, oh boy, they're eager to learn about Lavoy Finicum and Pete Santilli. See what you need to teach him, Eric, about your buddy there, Mark Connors. And his alleged fake suicide that you reported on. Make sure Eric teaches him the difference between a suicidal ideation an actual suicide attempt, because you know the professional Eric Spitfire that knows a lot about psychology sure knows about that. You should watch these 3 videos in this playlist here. There's gonna be a link in the description box. Everybody have a good day.
Boy, you know, this is what we're up against here in America. Because you got guys like this that think that autocorrect on your keyboard is when you try to type hi, it accidentally types die, and you publish it anyway. Yeah, like, you know, here, we'll just go right here. Oh, edited. Yeah, edited. Oh, he meant to write hi, right? Well, see, just like the guy threatened to come kill my dog and try to beat the crap out of me. He knows where I live, right? And then all of a sudden, no, I didn't mean I was gonna kill your dog. I meant my dog could beat your dog in puzzles and swimming. Well, you know what? Guys like this need to be
be off the road. Put it that way. Breaker 19, Breaker 19. This is the Arizona burnt lizard calling the Vermont vermin.
Fucking what fellow man in OGM doing this spare time. I'm gonna get with. Very fishy, don't you think, folks? And it's flatter. Two. Two. And it's flatter. Two. Oh my god. Yeah. Flatter. Shouldn't people be criticized? You know how I'm criticized? I feel what's going on with the yeah, true. I get called chill and agent, shit, scumbag all the time, death threat, whatever else. And it's flatter, right? But, and it's flatter, too. And that's because when I left, when he threw me out of the GDL, and it's flatter, blah, 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 and like, and it's flatter, you know, like,
Dude, when we go to civil court, you know you're gonna lose big time. You are gonna lose so bad. And stop saying I called the cops on you, because the only reason that I called the cops is because you said you were gonna call the cops, so I awared my cops that you are gonna call the cops to make up a bunch of shit. And when one of your parents said that they're gonna abuse their position of power, I awared their office that they were.
That was never.
But he didn't call the cops.
Said,
I got the text. Want me to read it to you?
I said I'd bring you down. That's not saying I would use my power.
You represented the county. Oh, no, it was. So you represented the New Hampshire, Sullivan County Sheriff's Office, saying that you're going to contact my sheriff and make my life a living hell. Because you deserve it.
The betrayal that I'm seeing. Oh, I will show other people everything we're talking about. You really think that Eric is going to go for that? Give me all of Tamara's emails. You honestly think I would trust any of you? You honestly think that anything I was saying in those emails were true? Well, for what? What did I ever say? Then here's that other bit. Okay, where you are, Michigan. She threatened like you had 13 on me. 13 of your people. 13 of your people. Domestic terrorists. With one being a convicted domestic terrorist. Okay? 13 on a daily basis for 8 months. And the leader of your cult trying to pin a murder on me. 19 and his comrade. Okay? Okay, bitches? Now the FBI don't want me doing those videos. They wanted me to put it on private. I'm gonna win this challenge. I'm gonna win this challenge. I'm gonna win it. Okay? Back off me. And I'm gonna tell you that bitch in Ohio. Back off of OJ too. Back off, my friend. I don't bother your people. Don't bother me. Status. Because guess what? You're gonna lose that protection order, bitch. You're gonna lose it. Keep running your mouth. Keep running your mouth. Keep running it. Keep running. That's all you people do. You don't know how to shut up. You don't know how to shut up. Obsessive. I put up with it. Being accused of murder, eating babies, everything else. Then I got Lori Hart saying that I'm with David Pedicini. David shit Pedicini and a death cult. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, you bitch? You bitch. Boyfriend needs 20 to life. You know what? Come up on here, you run your channel, and you better all shut the hell up. All of you. Kids and everything else. And everything else, you know what? You back off of me, Ohio. You back off of me, Missouri. I don't bother your people. You don't bother mine, Ohio. Leave OJ alone. Because it's plain to see it's GameStop. You are weaponizing that protection order, and you know it. Bitch. They know what's up. I don't use my platform to manhandle fellow YouTubers. Like I said, I'm not inciting violence, puppet mouth. Like I said, Eric has a mind of his own. But I'm going to tell you something. If he does well, I'll beat the living piss out of that big mouth bastard. I don't blame him one bit. And if he decides to do this, he won't get caught. No. The dude's going to be like a ghost. It will be real quick, man. It'll be one hit, he's gone. And there will be no evidence. Will this happen? Well, if he shuts the hell up, it won't happen. So he needs to shut the hell up. Listen to me, people. Don't tell me when this motherfucker here does a video on me, okay? Don't. I mean, I appreciate it. Don't fucking tell me. I don't want nothing to do with this motherfucker. Here's the thing, Brokeback. Don't tell me this is some low-level bullshit. When what was done to Wisconsin, her grandchildren were being stalked. The youngest one, I believe, being 9, on their social media, including their teachers. She and her husband's lives have been ruined because of you motherfuckers, okay? So don't tell me this is some low-level bullshit and you don't know who my family is and the people I'm affiliated with. And don't think I don't know about real gang stalkers, okay? But these motherfuckers and these motherfuckers like you ain't no different from them. They doxed Jane Doe to have her murdered. Don't think I don't know this, because I do. 13 verse 1. This woman right here won. And you think they want to play motherfucking patty cakes? You get the fuck out of my face, dude. You're coming at me for the bitch in Ohio and that other one in Illinois. But you'll never tell the truth, will you? There's a man on here right now. There's a bounty on him.
The reason why I came at this woman, hopefully woman, she brought my name up first.
A man worth $200 million is coming after him. And I'm not even going to get into as to why. But it's some really deep shit. And if they find him, they're going to take him out. Are you saying I'm supposed to have fun with you sick fucks? And allow you to accuse me of murder, eating babies, and everything else? And when I defend myself, you try hunting me down like a wild fucking animal? Well, guess what you're called when you're fucked up? You'll call Jane Doe to find out, motherfucker. You think there's people on here that can't gang stalk you back in your real life? You fuckers better be very careful the next time you decide to do this to a YouTuber. I have all your names, your addresses, everything. But did I ever put you psycho fuckers on blast? No. Did I ever violate your families? No. Your children? No. Your jobs? No. Well, those of you that have one. But don't think I don't know what's being done to Jane Doe, because I do. The only way I can get this to stop is I gotta play dirty. And are you saying I'm not gonna make this motherfucking phone call and I don't have the videos? That's the only way I can get this to stop, is I gotta play dirty, and I mean real dirty, and rip those kids away from her. Do you understand me? Do you understand me? I'm supposed to laugh at this during a double homicide investigation? A homicide that your fucking cult leader tried to pin these murders on me and 2 other YouTubers? You need to stop stalking and mocking me, you sick fucker. Because I didn't do a fucking thing to you. And you fucking know it. Those bitches you're guarding are weak. And
No one told me to do nothing. You brought my name up first and you associated me in. Here's why. You were told to. With BS information. Let's continue on here.
dumb as fuck. You're wasting your time. Oh, by the way, thanks for promoting my channel. At least you're fucking good for something.
Is that what you're after there? Just clicks? That's what she needs, is clicks, you guys. She needs attention. Right.
I want to tell you guys a quick story. I was watching a fishing channel a while back, guy up in Idaho. Well, apparently he did a lot of filming. That's why he's got a channel. But he filmed himself, I think, catching an illegal fish he wasn't supposed to keep. Now, I don't know if it was one of the viewers or one of the, Fish and Game, wildlife preservation officer or something that might have been watching his channel. But like a few days later, actually, the channel owner was filming the Fish and Game showing up at his house to give him a citation. Right? And he actually, took the citation and nobody to apologize to. But, Mr. Spitfire here, these cop buddies of his that he trains, I hope he goes to them and he gives himself like you know, well, at least there's 2 right now of you know, littering violations. But, you know, do the honorable thing there, Eric. And go to one of your cop buddies and give yourself like 50 littering tickets. See right here. Oh, that's real honorable. Oh yeah. See, for me, that's a major violation. Just littering, because in the state that I live in, you do that, major forest fires will start. But you know, this guy, interesting, he likes to call himself Dumpster Fire. Yeah, come to this state, you know, wanting to knock out cocks, okay? Just do me a favor, man. Just don't litter your cigarette butts. Alright, please don't litter your cigarette butts when you come to this state. Yeah. Should do something, you know, maybe do something for Lavoie there. You know, has this guy ever cop watched or gone to a city meeting, city council meeting? No. You know, Eric, while you're gonna be busy blasting out your videos and all your fun rhetoric and rants, don't forget about Lavoie. Try to slip in a video about Lavoie and maybe give an update on what the cases are looking like for Jeanette Finicum. You know, I'll help you out. I think Shauna Cox's and Ryan Bundy's case got tossed. You know, an update on that. I've been kind of busy, you know, building shelves and other stuff. I don't really have time to follow this guy, man. Everybody have a good day.
I've been through fucking hell.
You think Brent Becker's innocent?
Yes.
100%.
Just walk a line off me.
Guys, I gotta run for a second, okay? But I gotta run to the store, but the audio is coming through fine. 100%. It's on your end.
Alright. We gotta do some comic. And I have, we gotta do comic strips. We've got no audio coming through this time.
Oh no.
Coming through 100% fine. Guaranteed. 100%.
We gotta do comic free, we've got no audio coming through this time.
Oh no.
Coming through 100% fine. Guaranteed. 100%.
Good morning. This is Dr. Briggs. I'm here to tell you today that RJ Rugby, this is not fat RJ Rugby without shoulder pads and a helmet. And they sent me because it was my turn, because Julius Lexi failed, and I'm the next one in the hot seat for the disinformation campaign. Because I'm a patriot from down under. This content is so great. We're gonna sell this to Netflix. Great content. It's all just parody. Parody, I tell you. That'll help throw plenty of people up under the bus.
Yesterday, I wanted to tell a little story. Talk about the Third Amendment of our Constitution and Bill of Rights. Giving no quarter to a military, either inside or outside this country. The grand old United States of America. You know, everybody overlooks that Third Amendment there. They do. Kind of. Why is it me that has to bring this stuff up? I don't know. I don't know why I get these outlandish, these crazy theories, right? How does Cox come up with these crazy theories? Yeah, I don't know. But why can't Cox just present his crazy theories and not, get struck himself, right? I've been struck. I'll show a video that was struck, and then kind of the way it shows now, right? Community guidelines, somebody struck one of my videos of, trying to just lay out my research, right? After you've been kind of attacked, called a hula hoaxer or LARPer or something, right? Make a video refuting the claims, and all of a sudden that video struck. That was back in March 28th, 2019. Like I said, I'll play that video. But here's the thing that I wanted to get into is the Third Amendment talks about during peacetime and wartime not giving quarter to any type of troops. And military. But the thing is like, where does the long line get drawn? At maybe somebody playing G.I. Joe? I don't know, maybe from Canada, group of anarchists or something. I don't know what they are. Luciferian anarchists. They're kind of so-called leaders saying that it's casting spells and hexes. And, wanting to, cast down a big hurricane down upon Florida or New York. Right? We know kind of how weather warfare can work. Okay? Should already know. The thing is, casting down, maybe, if you've got the power, you think you've got the power to cast down a hurricane upon the United States. Well, that kind of, raises my little red flags in a sense, and because I've got friends and family in Florida and New York. We don't want to see anybody have any crazy ideas, because we know how crazy ideas can sometimes manifest. But when you admit, that you're infiltrating communications in the United States, and that's admitted on tape. Group of little piss ants, I call them, from Canada, because that's some pretty gross stuff that's going on up there, with the animals laws that they made up, and also the I think there was a lot of child trafficking networking going on up there too, and also another Canadian part of that group talking about quit doing investigations on child trafficking on YouTube. You see, the thing is when somebody leaves their communications wide open in their house, and we're going to get into this more, in their own home, right? Letting maybe like a, wannabe little G.I. Joe Canadian group come in to your communications. It's like, taking over your radio and your stereo or your TV. Right? Especially if now, see, with communications and live streaming, you're running a live stream, you got your Hangouts open, you're letting this Canadian group, just kind of take over your line there. Broadcast out, especially claiming to be an American either a green card or, something like that. The Third Amendment applies to citizens, really, citizens of the United States, not giving quarter. The thing is, you guys probably know who I'm talking about. But here's the thing, I always like to put it all to the test, right? I did strike somebody's channel as a test, and he was actually my buddy. Because he's letting, I don't even want to call him they're like wannabe G.I. Joes from Canada. That's all I can say. But I struck my buddy's channel. I've only struck one other channel. And that was channeled on October 1st of, I think it was 2018 or something like that, 2017. Yeah, I think it was 17, something like that, when the internet supposedly went private, was sold, right? Was sold over to, I don't know, private entities, maybe Israel, I don't know. Whoever it went to. But the thing is by striking that channel, and I tried to warn him, I go, dude, you're kind of letting the Canadians take over your line there, and they're talking crazy, demons manifesting, right, on the open line. Talking about hurricanes, going back to the Georgia Guidestone days with, wanting to take the population down to under 500 million. That's and letting it happen on your communications, see, and being actually a veteran too. That would make one a citizen. See, so an American veteran is allowing communications to go through his home from a wannabe G.I. Joe Canadian force, and they're spreading their vile crap. To me, that's giving quarter to a military force. I mean, they're coordinating. So where do you draw the line on a military force? But they're talking about infiltrating the communications, and they it's all on tape. It's all there. They're basically taking over the communications and actually, attacking other Americans that are, wanting an opinion, have a theory formulated, It's kind of interesting how it's all kind of unfolding and all the, actually all the infiltrators are kind of getting backed into the same corner. Kind of fun, I think. That's the way I look at it. What do? Like I said, I struck my buddy's channel. But the thing is it was a big test on multifaceted, multifaceted test. Because I got my strike off of, a couple of my videos out of the same little circle. Came from, I don't know who, but I'll show you. You'll see. And that was right around the time I, kind of came into the circle, tried to have my opinion, and then got just ridiculed, kind of thrown in the corner. That guy doesn't need to have a voice, especially when I'm turning over important evidence, to my buddy. Thought he was my buddy. I hope he is, He's a good guy, I think. But, getting onto the bigger picture of things, trying to turn over information on important investigations and maybe laws and court cases that are trying to push forward. Thinking that information might go somewhere. But it didn't. He said, oh, yeah, we'll pull the handle on this. We'll put it out in the ether and see where else we can take this. But seems as though, a few cases now, kind of a 3-time strikeout, type integrity test. Been sending, important information. Hey, you should put this on your live stream since you're, giving live commentary to Trump, your president. Okay? He's my president too, man. And I'll just say this, first I was kind of supportive. And then just like Obama, they kind of start showing you, you're like, oh shit, You kind of go back and forth. You know, you want to see bigger purpose come out of the big troll. 'Cause that's kind of what's going on. It's just Trump's trolling all of us, man. Right? Whether you're a supporter or not, I think. The thing is you know, you want to turn over the information and see it go somewhere and network and research together, but when that research doesn't go anywhere and it's kind of an integrity test, that's kind of big red flag. See, once again, maybe harboring the enemy within your quarters. And that leads me into a quick couple-minute video that I'm going to play here. Just kind of lay it out there. You know, we're just kind of laying this out in the ether. Okay? Just kind of laying all this out in the ether to see.
I am a computer. Given yesterday was the 4th of...
You were going to see where all this kind of goes. All right? Which, you know, always a good test. See, just like me striking my buddy's channel, I needed to see what happens. So if somebody out of that group can strike your channel and give you a hate speech strike and your channel go down, like my buddies did, and now he's on his 3rd, okay? And he can be struck within his own community to go down, and I sit there and I strike everything possible of crazy, over the top, not needing to be their activity in his chat room that he won't take care of himself. Sock accounts, blasting, you know, personal information, let's say, you know, or very, very slanderous information, and even on the borderline of terroristic, let's say. And I'm sitting there striking it for a half an hour, and I gave my buddy a strike on his channel, a terroristic activity strike. But it didn't go down. Nothing really happened. Now, is that maybe the provider of the platform giving harbor quarter to the enemy by not doing that and striking my video, which you'll see here in a minute? See, there's something a lot more going on here, but the thing is are you giving quarter and allowing your communications to be taken over? And I'm gonna go into that more. I got a web page to go over here in a minute. We're gonna watch this 2-minute video and continue on.
July, I believe it time for the next part of our Bill of Rights series. The Third Amendment. Let us get into it. No soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house, without consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner prescribed by law. Now, the first part of this directly points to citizens. No soldier shall be quartered, during times of peace, in any home without the owner's express permission. This is almost undecipherable, as the language has not changed much, if any. Now, the second part can be interpreted one of two ways. During times of war, soldiers cannot demand housing, but can commandeer a home with legal permission. In other words, a warrant. Of course, the more literal translation would be that no military force, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, or police, can take a home owned by a citizen without legal sale or trade. Now, why is this? One human would think this would be implied to ownership laws. For this answer, we will be looking into pre-American Revolution laws. During the French and Indian War, also known as the 7 Years' War, both British and French soldiers would take homes from citizens, in order to rest and recuperate, along with other things that would not be accepted in any first world nation. This also has modern implications that are very important to a free people. Nor in time of war, but in a manner prescribed by law. This has implications of privacy rights, stating that no military can take home in your own home and observe your life and secrets without a warrant. Of course, this statement goes into the Fourth Amendment as well, but that is another video in total. For now, though, remember that you, as an American citizen, have every right to say no to a military force.
So there you go, right there, my video that I pulled up off of my own channel. Let's see if I can get that better there.
Baby, that's a thick one right there.
Can't really see the letter in
Morning
there.
surprise of Yoda poop.
Let me just pause that.
You know, I wanted to make a video like this for a while.
See if I can go back there and get that off the screen. Oh, you can't really see it, but it shows. You caught it kind of in one frame there. Shows that you know, there's a stipulation to watch this video, even on my own channel and on private. I had to privatize this original video, and I'm mirroring it here through the DU recorder. And it just shows, you know, what the stipulations are to watch this video. Let me see if I can get a better frame.
And I was live streaming this morning with LVO.
Let's see if I can catch that. So just for having an opinion, someone from this group struck this channel, and I'm just gonna keep on playing this.
On his marathon live stream, I don't know what his deal is, man, going for days and days. Getting a little bit of sleep, but letting her rip for days and days. I don't know, he might know something, being a young vet himself, but anyways. For live stream, and we were talking about cleansing our DNA in a sense. And got to, you know, let out a little bit about, you know, I believed that, you know, some of the things that my mother went through in Holland, you know, through the Holocaust, you know, I can kind of get almost like a flashback in a sense what she went through. I mean, that a tragedy like living through a Holocaust era in Europe and Holland during that time, you know, 1945 on 1940s, you know what I'm saying? Living through that, you know, I get flashbacks of maybe what they went through, because like I said, it's kind of in my DNA, knowing that. But it was funny because in the chat room, you know, I was being accused of being a hula hoaxer, right? And yeah, you know, that has kind of, I'll say it's kind of triggered me in the past when somebody talks about the hula hoax, and and you know, it's tough, because I heard my mom, the way she talked about what happened in Holland, how they had friends that were Jews that they hid under the floorboards and still got raided by the Nazis in a sense, and you know, they were checking houses, and if you hid Jews, you were going down with them, and they didn't get caught. And here's the thing about it, though, is my grandmother wrote a book about this in Dutch. That book supposedly was supposed to be at Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah, being translated, and that was actually a long time ago. Yeah, my oldest brother got it and gave it to his daughter to try to translate in Brigham Young University, and I think that was like 6-7 years ago, maybe longer. I wonder why. Being buried at BYU. But anyways, here's the thing that people don't realize on the research when you're looking into the Holocaust type event. A couple of things real quick is when there's deception involved, there's some type of a false flag, and that's all I'm gonna say. In the Holocaust, it was, I think, a false flag because there was deception involved. There was a lot of deception, but it doesn't mean that people. There's still people that are taken out in false flags. And here's where my research has led me on the Holocaust, and this might answer some questions if you think I'm a LARPer and a hoaxer, okay, a hoaxer. If you don't do the research to follow the money once again, you're not seeing the big picture, okay? Now what happened was in the concentration camps, when they were...
If proven, and there obviously have been concentration camps proven as far as the incinerators, people will say, well, there's no proof the incinerators were even there. My argument is, well, they incinerated the proof and got rid of the gold, the teeth with the gold in them. And you'll hear more here in a second about what I do.
Pulling teeth. Gold.
Back up.
Now what happened was in the concentration camps, when they were pulling teeth that were golden, they were taking people's watches, jewelry. The laziness of the operation, the false flag, they didn't mine the gold. They didn't break the gold down before it was sent off, apparently, to the underground Swiss banks. Okay. That sounds crazy, but apparently the people on the receiving end that were supposed to be getting mined gold were instead getting jewelry, watches, and teeth.
Teeth with gold in them.
The greed of the whole operation is what exposed it all, really, for what it is. If you haven't gone that far, calling me a LARPer and a hoaxer, you should watch some of my binaural beats. It might help you out. Some of my older broadcasts might wake you up a little bit. Other than that, it was a great conversation. Everybody have a good day.
All right, so what I'm going to do here is go on to this webpage I found earlier and go over the first Revox reel-to-reel recorders and how and why that kind of came up. I'm going to read this article here. I'm waiting for this video to kind of start in a little bit. Want to make sure there might not be any copyrighted material in here as far as music. Yeah, I don't even want that music in there. Okay, so here's the thing. Recording. That's kind of what this all is about, you know, live streaming, recording, interaction, so forth. But I'm going to read this. Who invented the magnetic recording? The history. Since the 16th century, people tried many times to build a machine able to remember voice or music. I gotta get set up better here, you guys, to be able to read this. Okay. They must attend. Oh, and by the way, this has got some pretty bad English in here because I think it's interpreted soundfan.it, which would tell me I think that's Italy. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of go through this a little bit to reword the English, I think. But anyways, they must attend till 1877 when T.A. Edison invents the first working record recording machine using a wax cylinder. Starting from this idea, they will arrive step by step to the vinyl disc as we know it now. The real magnetic recording, born in 1898 due to the work of Danish technician inventor Poulsen, Vladimir Poulsen, Working on some telegraph accessories, Poulsen invents the telegraphone, a recording machine using steel wire as magnetic support, sliding in front of an electromagnetic. Now, the reason why I bring this up is some of the history. The invention gains the first prize at the Expo of Paris in 1900, and it receives a patent in the USA, where Poulsen starts to produce dictating machines and telephone recorders. Unfortunately, as it often happens to innovative inventions, the public does not receive it well. And these products, in about 1920, the factory was shut down and Poulsen leaves the plant. During the 1930s, German engineers discover the Poulsen's invention and develop it for war purpose. Adolf Hitler trusts in the new machine potential and presses for its improvement. Some years later, with magnetic recorders, he will transmit his propaganda speeches in different cities, at the same time never being really localized by the enemy forces. They're just playing off of the steel tape, their radio stations, and the communications. Steel tape. They're playing his speeches, and he doesn't even have to be there. See, the thing is, by doing that, they take over the radio stations and the communications. And that's what they did in, the 1940s in Holland. Because my grandparents were using a reel-to-reel steel tape recorder to record what they were doing, the way it was taking over the communications, and amongst other things, they're recording other things. But the thing is by the time the Revox came around, and that's in another clip, by the time the Revox came around with plastic tape, they were taking the steel tape and transferring it over to the Revox, my grandparents. And we ended up with 2 big boxes of many tapes. I'd probably say about, 3 dozen tapes of reel-to-reel. And about 2010, I started, my grandmother, before she passed, told me how important those tapes were to be transcribed over and put on CD. Well, being busy and everything, I finally got to recording some of those tapes by 2010. And those tapes, those plastic tapes would fall apart. It was crazy, and I only got through like 3 of the tapes. And soon thereafter, I think about 2011, is when I went through a flood in the location I was at, like a flood of the century here in Arizona, which was just crazy, and it wiped out my reel-to-reel player in my studio, which is really unfortunate. I only got like 2 CDs of what I found, and I really didn't get to go through all of that box of tapes. But the thing is somebody will say, "Oh, you're just living out a fairy tale. You got no proof." Well, yeah, I've got no proof now that those tapes actually existed. But the story should count for something, right, you guys? The thing is we have proof that the communications were taken over in World War II, and in Holland, they were broadcasting out their own propaganda and music through the radio stations. Well, that came into your home. That type of propaganda came into your home. So what do you do about that? Well, I mean, you've got the choice to shut it off. And that is, to me, almost harboring the enemy. When you let it roll. You might just go to sleep and you let the enemy just have their way with their communications as you're broadcasting out to your American-based little group. That's about all I got for today. Thanks for joining in. Any questions, comments, leave them below. I'll answer them. But again, I'm striking somebody's channel. Okay, we did it as a test. I did it as a test to see if me being shoved in the corner, if I had any type of voice. And I didn't want to see my buddy's channel get shut down. We just wanted to see if it would. You know, he's a good enough broadcaster. He just would have made another one and kept on going. But even his own channels were getting struck from within the group. And I don't know if he realizes that he's letting some really bad people take over his communications within his own home. And I tried to warn him, right? But the thing is, once again, I didn't want to see my buddy's channel get shut down. I wanted to see if ScrewTube was harboring the enemy also and letting it happen. And they did. And who's getting shut down? Me and the other guy just trying to put the, just trying to put the word out there and gather some evidence. But, yeah. Thanks for joining in today. Kind of deep, interesting. I know I'm not the most coherent, but something to look into. You know, you put the Reeboks reel to reel in a search engine, and you know, look at the history on the first Reeboks, or look at the magnet, you know, or the steel wire tape. It gives you a little bit of history and reference to go by there. Our lines and communications are really important, you guys, and just want to see the right thing done with them to where we can do our investigations without getting disrupted, or having the information you think you're turning it over the right person to be maybe forwarded with. You're infiltrated and it's being used against you. All right, everybody have a good day.
Guess it's time to switch. See, these people think that they, make a mockery with shit. And yeah, this all started out with Goofy, aka Tooth Fairy. And, he's been on and on, bullshit. So anyway, over time, you would not believe what happened. I mean, they really honestly think you can gas something. as high as a Kathy. Oh, I got the email too. Honestly, really
Is that thing on?
To make sure this never happens to another YouTuber.
Yeah, that's why we're gonna get you guys stopped. Witchcraft rituals for protection. You need the King of Kings.
don't even want to know what they do. You don't. And you should see Aaron. Did you ever see him in that bathtub all messed up?
All messed up. You know, keep on saying, never done the stuff, never wanted to, don't know where to get it, have no passion to even associate with anybody that does. Right? All messed up in the hot tub. You know what? Tomorrow, you should ask your handlers about how Julius Lexi tried to get me labeled as a stolen, get me labeled stolen as stolen valor. Okay. And it actually worked for a little while. Number 3 on your script there, okay? And it actually stuck for a little bit. Right? But people saw through it. Actually, somebody came to me. It was part of your side, apparently, for a little while, and apologized for the stolen valor accusations. Seeing what you're doing is you're actually helping out the deep state side of the FBI that actually needs to be rooted out. So what you're doing is you're helping expose them, and you're helping prove our cases. Let's continue on for another minute.
I actually went to get under my covers.
Right. You know, I want to just hear that part one more time.
Don't count on this platform. You don't even want to know what they do. You don't. And you should see Aaron. Did you ever see him in that bathtub all messed up? I actually went to get under my covers.
Right.
I don't know which one is having them come at me. If it's Lizard or the other one, maybe both. I need to tell everyone I talk to on here that I'm taking a long break from this platform. And
Right. You know, I'm kind of a gambling man, so anybody want to put a gamble on that? Yeah. Maybe we can swap PayPal links and do some online gambling with this. Right. I bet you, if I bet that she is gonna go away, I'll probably lose everything in my savings, which isn't much, you know. Yeah.
I feel a lot of you are going to do the same.
Right.
And this has been a rough year on here. Starting with the niece, ending with this domestic terrorist group.
Domestic terrorists.
And yes, I'm going to win the challenge. I strongly feel that my higher power put me in this position.
You mean Lucifer, right? Because at the end of this video, she actually talks about us not having souls and being born without souls. But yeah, she turns to witchcraft, right, for protection. We'll see how that works out, especially against the deep state FBI, man. Good luck with all that. In your federal cases,
We're gonna hear some proof from Pamela. It's the truth. Oh, this is great.
I want to ask the victims, what have you learned from all of this? I bet you have learned that this blue light here is very special, and why?
I think she might support the thin blue line. It might be a little subliminal there.
Although things are calming down, the female leader of this domestic terrorist group is always going to have some of her gang members come at us a lot.
Gang members.
Such as Aaron Bathhouse Bubble Boy, who's also a domestic terrorist.
What? How can somebody be in a bathtub and be in a domestic terrorist at the same time? Come on.
He's a crazy son of a bitch.
Well, that could be
Who
true.
does videos in his bathtub.
Whoa.
High on meth. Plus,
Oh, Tamara.
he uses his real name
Uh-huh.
with a rap sheet so long he can wallpaper all of our homes.
We're the one that's got the psychosis. She must have got a hold of my speeding ticket that I got back in like 1999 or something. I don't know.
This is proof these criminals here aren't too bright. You know, when you use your real name to gang stalk fellow YouTubers,
Right.
you seriously need your head examined. And I'm looking deeper into this female leader, the one who's having us gang stalk.
Right.
And I just don't feel.
You know, for somebody that's being gang stalked, she sure does have a big mouth. You know, makes sense though, you know. Tamara, I've never done meth. Not in my entire life. So, let's keep going just for another minute.
Sherry Schreier is deceased. But since the female leader didn't like her and was probably having her gang stalked as well, her family is probably hiding her because the female leader is psychotic and very malicious.
Right.
Or who knows, maybe she's working with her. I don't know. Oh, if anyone has a photo of... Never mind. Anyway, she tried to
Needs to have her head examined.
accuse many of us of these double homicides to gaslight the FBI.
Oh.
Meantime, I strongly feel it's her boyfriend that murdered his own parents. And before I go, I want to tell all of you there will come a time where all of you will see my truth.
My woof. Woof with Tamla. With woof. Yeah. Gaslighting FBI. Trying to get him off the scent. You're stank ass. Talking about the tub troll. It triggered. I'm remote viewing her right now. She's probably at a triggered. You know, a high simmered about a 6.4.4. That might be it, huh, Pamela? Oh, we got Tamala Twoofy. Twiggled level number 7.14. So we got her on film here talking about how she knows that somebody murdered somebody's father, her own father. And she's got the twooth and the poof. This ain't
Now,
right.
if this continues, just so you know, I'm working very closely with the law enforcement officers that are investigating the double homicide case. You know, the murders you accused me and 2 other YouTubers of committing when it was your boyfriend who went right up to his own father and shot him right in the temple on the right side.
Boy, that's a pretty bold accusation. And you know, usually I thought like the FBI doesn't really like divulge information about their active investigations, especially to a free market. Free market in Tamawa. Using people, killing their own in-laws. Like the FBI like shared the information with them. This is just picking up. This is just getting good. Tamawa. We're gonna just keep on getting your triggered level a little more we're going to advance it a little bit more before we put you under the lights.
we haven't even started to turn up the heat on this woman. See, now she's starting to get even more triggered and using names in her titles. But yeah. Yep. Before we get her in the doctor's chair, we're gonna keep on getting that triggered level, boosted up a little bit. And that's what we had to do with Failure Man there. Get him to actually become a little more coherent, be able to actually extract some information out of him. I had to get a trigger level, boosted up there. Now I'm just tub trolling my tub, doing meth, I guess. And you know what? I wouldn't even know where to get any of that stuff. I just don't hang out with people like that. But you know what? I bet you this Tamawa Toofy, I bet you she knows where to get it all.
Whether or not I'm the nominee, I promise you, I'm going to work like the devil to make sure a Democrat selects the President of the United States.
Way to start out a live stream, not knowing you're live yet.
And I saw Aaron talk.
Should
President Trump, hey? Why do you think you can get away with freedom and liberty? The underground Chinese Christian church movement, eh? Master Tang is going to teach you a lesson. You know, ever since I become communist China, I think so Americans don't understand. Too much freedom, not a good thing. Why you teach Taiwan has democracy, eh? You should not have done this. Master Tang is not happy. Master Tang's master Lucifer. Chinese government, communist system. You want peace. You don't want liberty. Master Tang have very good plans. All Americans not know Master Tang will care. Master Tang will make sure all Americans only support communist China. Don't pray for China. You pray for Americans to become like communist China. You can be just like us. Just vote for Bernie Sanders. In the China, in all the world, there has never been a more happy place where people can unite together. They can all come together and become peoples. Soviet-style China. Yes. Why you think Hong Kong people not like communist China? This is a lie. Communist China love you, love Hong Kong, love everybody. So never listen to Michael Basham or InfoWars or Spirit Force. Never do that. Never go to Fringe Radio Network. You should be very afraid of coronavirus. Be afraid. Listen to CNN and mainstream media. Yes. 你不可以听我的朋友，不喜欢共产党的人不是你的朋友。你可以相信 Master Tang. Hong Kong people only riot because America teach them too much freedom. Master Tang will teach you and teach Hong Kong people. No more freedom, no. You should be like Master Tang. Master Tang have good plan. This is a very special message. And next time I see you vote for President Trump, you will be in big trouble.